been out day for me. Nobody pray for me. You been out day for me. Yeah, yeah. Sit down. Be humble. 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 Sit down. Be humble.
Good morning, Ursuline. My name is Grace Petchel, and welcome to today's broadcast. We have a very special show for you today. The broadcast team produced documentaries on topics of their choice. Our first documentary was directed by Olivia Altamari, and it highlights the importance of the global education program here at Ursuline.
The opportunities are there. Take advantage of them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so we're talking about global education at Ursuline, and really probably about almost 10 years ago now, we got into the global education thing in a pretty big way here at Ursuline. There had been years prior to that, as I recall, as I was told, because it was before me, when we did have interactions with schools from Japan and from Ursuline schools from Japan and from some other places. But really, it was about 10 years ago that this program started up as a real more formal program. And then we were contacted, kind of out of the blue, but we were contacted by Ayala from Brazil, from the Ursuline School in Brazil, where we have built a relationship. And that evolved into building a relationship with their school.
Yeah.
And from there, we've taken off into relationships with several other Ursuline schools.
So that was our first relationship was with Brazil, and then from that we have connected with England and France, South Africa. And I think the goal was to start with trips so that we could make those global connections, and then figure out ways that we can expand it into the classrooms.
Right, and a few of those things have happened. We've done some readings, some shared readings in English classes with the school from South Africa. Yeah. And I remember also we did a kind of a Skype, I'm not sure what we used, but it was kind of a Skype visit between one of our government classes and one of the government classes in England.
Yes.
About Brexit and about our election here. So those are the kinds of pieces that we want to continue to build in terms of adding a global perspective to our curriculum for everybody in the school, because everybody won't have the opportunity to travel.
Yeah. Currently, with that, we have just started a Global Connections program with the sophomore class, and so they're in the midst of connecting with those same schools that we just mentioned, and picking out different types of projects to do. So we're excited about that. That's going to be an upcoming connection in the classroom.
And students have an opportunity to shape their curriculum in such a way that it's more globally directed, and also take on some co-curricular activities and service activities, and graduate with a diploma that indicates that they were a global scholar, and that goes on their transcript as well. So that kind of plays into the global connectedness here at the school.
Gives a lot more opportunity for a global perspective with that program, and the girls that participate in that also do a capstone that is focused on a global issue.
Right. Philosophically, we live in a world now that is so much more globally connected than it was even 20 years ago. As Catholics who have an obligation to value every human life, to begin looking at some of the global issues that impact people in a pretty large-scale way. So, for example, we have spent time looking at access to clean water in other parts of the world. I know some of the global scholars have looked at education, the access to education, especially by women in the world,
Yes.
and lots of global issues like that that we have to take on as Catholics, I think.
And our mission statement talks about Christian living and leadership in a global society.
Right.
So it's just, we're not living isolated in one city or one country. It's truly a human family. So just making those global connections. And I think we're so fortunate at Ursuline because it's built in for us. We have Ursuline Schools in approximately 36 different countries around the globe. And it's because of how St. Angela started the whole thing 480 some years ago. And really we just have sisters all over the world who have started ministries that we're participating in now.
Right.
That's a really cool part of the program and just already built into what we do.
Right. So we've had, we have the opportunities built in to do some of global travel. We have the opportunities to help host when students from other schools around the world come and visit us. If you have the opportunity, take advantage of it. Even if everybody's not going to have the opportunity to travel, but even if it's just meeting a student who happens to be here, or by approaching some of these global issues that we've talked about, or getting involved in the Global Scholars Program. And so the opportunities are there. Take advantage of them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow, I'm so excited for the Ursuline students to dive into the Global Education Program. Our next documentary was produced by Anne Burkemper. It is about Ursuline's robotics team.
I'm interested in STEM, and I like math and science, and I'm interested in how things work.
I really wanted to do robotics because I really enjoy seeing applications of science, and this is just such a pure form of that. And it's just really, really cool to see the girls get their hands, dirty doing something real and a clear application of science. So the girls' roles is a little different, or each of theirs are a little different. So the whole objective is to build a robot, obviously, but each girl kind of figures out her specialty. So there's the mechanics side to it, the electricity, the coding. So the girls get to kind of pick and choose what they're best at. But then there's also other roles like photography and social media and accounting, figuring out our finances and things like that. So we have 6 weeks to build a robot based on the course that they gave to us in January. And then our first competition is right before spring break at Chaffetz Arena, March 13th, I think. And then we'll go to Iowa the following week and compete up there. Most of the work is second semester, so it starts in January, ends in mid-February, and then the competitions are in March. But we'll do some other stuff in the fall just to kind of get ready and introduce new girls to how to do things. It's kind of best to join in the fall so you can start learning a little bit about it, because in January we pretty much hit the ground running and start building our robot since we only have 6 weeks. But we love girls to pop in and see if it's something they'd be interested in, and so you can come do that anytime. No, that's a common question. No, definitely not. You have to have like some sort of interest, but you don't need to be in honors classes. You don't need to be the top of your class. You just have to be interested and willing to learn, because it's all application. And ask any of the girls on the team, they didn't know what they were doing until they got into it. And now they're all really great at it. I can't say this officially yet, but I think my favorite part's going to be like seeing the progression. So I started to take pictures at the beginning and throughout the process of building our robot, and I'm just really excited for when the 6 weeks ends and we can see what all of our hard work produced.
I'm in robotics because it gives me a good chance for, well, it gives me a good experience for what I want to do when I'm older and for college, and I get to hang out with a really fun group of girls and build really cool robots.
That's so cool. Great job on your documentaries, guys. That's all for today's broadcast. Hope you all enjoyed these documentaries and look forward to some more next week, right here on UA Today.